Welcome back, friends. On the comments of some of my subscribers about yesterday, I had mentioned it was a very short video. I mentioned there could be a sudden fall and a sharp fall around 12 noon. If you go back to the charts and see, and while mentioning that, I mentioned that please don't do any trading, don't take any positions. There was a reason why I said so. If you go back to the charts and see, there was a sharp fall in the Nifty of 120 points exactly at 12 o'clock. 12 to 12:10, there was a sharp fall of 120 points. There are some people who are in regular touch. They keep watching my videos. They are part of my Telegram group. They communicate with me regularly. They took opportunity, although I would have liked that they would not have traded, but they know me since such a long time. They took advantage. 120 points play from in getting into a put and 10 minutes out was substantial for them to make good money. Some who are not able, they stuck around. I did not mention that the fall will persist. It was a fall. That's why I mentioned that it is a specific opportunity for a limited period of time. Anyway, it's a lesson for me in the future to keep telling you also how long it can persist. But I made this video at a great risk to myself, and in just a small outlet I could see where buying a put at that point of time could have multiplied your money 10 times in just 10 minutes. It was a specific opportunity because the market was going up, and if you had a reverse position it would have done wonders to you. Some people did not seize. They had mentioned in their comments, and I'm very hurt. They have mentioned, then why give something, when you don't want people to trade? I wanted you to observe and learn. This was something that it's not only trading and making money, it's an education. Education was a part of the thing. You could have learned so much if you had absorbed it. If somebody was teaching me, the problem with a lot of people nowadays is they're not ready to learn. Look at the budget. I have heard so many reactions, but I'm very saddened. There is all in favor of Modi ji's policies, Nirmala ji's policies, and all. But in whatever my assistants have told me, there is not one critical analysis which looks to be proper I could read or hear. Not one. There is this provision which has come. Let us look just two provisions. Capital gains. She has said that the pre-filling of the forms so far was restricted to like bank accounts, your name, address, so many things. Interest income, TDS. Now we'll be increasing it to items like capital gains. There is the market has rejoiced yesterday. It's largely on short covering. But if you look at it in detail, try to probe it, lot of people do not understand. They do not even know how to treat options, income, derivatives. They do not know what level they need to be audited. People are dealing in options, and there may be at some point of time where they cross a threshold, all of them will be subject to tax audit. Do they realize the implications of this type of a provision? They have not even bothered. Lot of the information is going to come pre-filled. And I am all in favor of the government, of transparency and all that. But people don't even know. They deal in crores. And then what they do is they take the net income plus minus of derivatives, and then they put it in their, show it as a business income. No. You are also going to be subject to tax audit because all the information is now there in the emperor's hands. They have done a lot of data mining. Lot of information is there. Not a single murmur about these types of things. Wherever you hear, people are only calling it either if it's an opposition, then it's an unbalanced budget. If it's nothing done for the poor, it's always next year also, 2022 also, same thing will come. Whoever may be in the opposition or this thing, always same thing. Nothing done for the poor class, sir. Nothing for them. They are the person who are suffering the most. They are always suffering the most naturally, right? Nothing for them, sir. Always the same story every time. And if you are in the elite class, the business class, growth oriented budget, balanced budget. Are critically analyze some things. 75 years plus, let's take that provision. Senior citizens, not required to file. Nirmala ji bahut acha bol diye. Very nicely she has said this. Conditions are there. Read the explanatory memorandum, sir. Go into text proposals. Go properly. Just don't deal in options and all this. Read each word. Try to understand the implications. Then you will understand how the capital markets, how will be the impact on the markets. Properly understand. 75 plus. Okay. Two conditions. You should have pension income. And secondly, you may also have interest income, provided that interest is from the pension, that account in which you have the pension account. So let us say I have a pension account in State Bank of India. Okay. The condition that she is imposing is that I should also be having a bank account in State Bank of India. They are also saying in the explanatory memorandum to the budget proposals that they will be bringing out many more banks which will be in the ambit. Now, if I'm a senior citizen, naturally the income would be constrained, right? Because I'm not working. As a basic principle of finance and investing, I would like to put my money to best use. Why should I necessarily restrict myself just because there's a option of not filing the return? Why I should restrict myself to only those banks that the government is specifying? It's a free world. I can invest my money across the world, anywhere I desire. So that means if I go anywhere outside those ambit of those banks, I will be subject to return filing. Thirdly, if I need a refund, right? If the bank owes me a refund, then I have to file a return anyway. There are lots of senior citizens, most of them, they do have some refund or some payable. Besides, you are also assuming that the banks are going to become now chartered accountants, and they will be specifically knowing all the various slabs, and they will be exactly deducting the tax. They will be now, so that means banks are also going to begin the tax filing process now, right? There'll be chartered accountants, and they will all be sitting in the bank, or they will be assisting. I think they can already, they are not able to do their own work well. Now they will be doing all this tax filing work for senior citizens. That whatever returns, we do a lot of tax filing as well, right? So each senior citizen has their own. They are mostly in higher slabs, 30% plus slabs. So the banks will be required to deduct at that. Let us assume that even if they deduct 30% plus, right? There are a whole ambit of deductions. So are the banks going to be aware of each and every deduction that a senior citizen is going to claim? They will be able to wisely sit and calculate all these various, there are section 8 and so many deductions. So they will know all those deductions which each of which are going to apply to senior citizens. They'll apply them and make the return, whatever, declaration. Why unnecessarily create? This will apply only to senior citizens in very low slabs, there are very few of them, I can just... who have just got pension income and some interest income in the account where there's now most have their investments across. They have in stocks, they have in securities, they have in some house property, they have given on rent. It's all these things are across. And not even if they have only pension and interest income, why are you constraining their ability to earn from the best possible source where they can earn? You allow them while limit their, now you're creating that thing that you will not file a return provided, you're restricting your savings in this particular bank. That's not the case. You should allow them. They let them get the earnings from the best place where they can get a buck. Many of them would have capital gains. So all that then does not mean that, you have big headlines. All these media houses, big headlines. Senior citizens 75 plus not required to file returns. Is that true? No. So it's not that simple a budget either. They have lot of people across the world have gone for different things. Like you find in the West, they are giving out money, shelling out money to overcome this coronavirus pandemic, slowdown, recession, whatever you may call it. In countries like India now, they have gone the Keynesian economics way. They're trying to do infrastructure work. They're saying we are monetizing, we are building assets, and through that assets, then we'll be, the money that gets generated, we will be giving out to the people, to the people who are working for it. Well, you can do it, but okay, it does take some time to build all these assets. And but why not do something little immediate also, like ATC? There's a deduction for public provident fund. There is for amount that to contribute to LIC policies. It's stagnating at a 1.5 lakhs. Why not make it 2 lakhs? Why not give some immediate handout to people as well? That's what was required in the budget. And normally, I'm very, very. I believe these budgets are pretty good, but I think that this budget was good, but it could have been a much better. It's just building on these infra projects and all. Right now, you needed some increase in the disposable income of the consumer as well. In any event, this is how I rate, and soon after open also, we can see a sharp fall, a sudden fall today. It may be a very short one, okay, but you'll see that. I will not like to give more predictions for today. I've been extremely disappointed. And it was a lot of research. You go and see the Nifty graph yesterday at 12. Exactly, there was a fall at 10 minutes. I gave this much before in the morning. It was an extremely beautiful call. Some have not appreciated it, but I guess I will rest my video today here. I've given some comments to the budget, and I've also given some comments. So a little after opening, you can see a fall which may be a little sudden in nature, but it will not persist throughout the day, or it is not something that you should be too worried about. On the whole, good budget. Impacts are good, and I will not comment on more aspects of trading today. Happy investing. Take care. Bye.